Again, thank you for joining us. We hope that you did enjoy that conversation. This morning segment question on the subject of the religious rights of students at secondary schools. And then, of course, the responses that were coming from you. And I see a lot of you still sending messages on the subject. But, of course, when we have the time, we'll try and then include that in our responses when we're reading some of your messages. But it's time for big issue, so we have to expand the conversation so far. And today we're discussing the subject matter of the extension of the term of the current IGP, and we're also relating that to an edict or a notice based on what could be a directive that was coming from Dr. Callistus Mahama of the presidency. And so invariably the president at the beginning of his administration banning extension of contracts for all those working within the public service or the civil service as that. And now we have an extension of 2 years for the current IGP by the Police Council. And subsequently, how do we posit that in the bigger conversation about what at the beginning of the John Mahama, Nana Jenopo-Kwajiman government, their position was on if your time is due for retirement, whether you could, even though that was allowable before that edict or notice, an extension for you. Does this smirk of double standards, or is just a change in policy? We haven't had the definitive communication so far. We've seen a green letter circulating on social media so far. We're trying to get confirmation whether, again, that a green letter has rightfully been signed by, again, the presidency or issued by the presidency. And so we'll take a look at that. And then for our last one, for which we usually would have some few minutes to discuss, we're talking about the Pandai 2024 parliamentary election, because the minority is also defending the annual result, calling it transparent, and that goes against what the position or the judgment of the court is. Of course, the judgment of the High Court is has been subjected to appeal at the Court of Appeal. And we know that there's a case in point where there's now a rule in that Willency case stating that it looks like all points of appeal will terminate at the Court of Appeal. What do we have to say about that as well? And so I have right here with me the Member of Parliament for the Guan constituency, Fred Agbenyu. Good morning to you, Fred. How are you?
Morning.
You're looking beautiful in green suits.
Your wine is very beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. It's made by Ellis Couture, Site 3, Tema Community 1. You can reach her on 024 651 6886. And I have Dr. Joshua Jabuntie Zato. Good morning to you, Dr. Zato. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Great. And then Solomon is back after a week's travel. He traversed the length and breadth of the world and the country he's back. Too much words, right? Solomon, good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother Roland.
Yeah, Director of Communication for the United Party. How's Alan Chamantin doing?
He's very strong and poised for Action Camp 2028.
Great. There's a lot happening in your former parties or your rival party, and you know that there are primaries coming up. So
the
MPP
but the
primaries.
MPP's collapse, I've told you.
Oh, you cannot make those
They
conclusions.
are only in the extra time, when once it is it manifests, all of you will witness it. For now, you will not take it serious, but when it manifests, you come back here and give me my story. We have been proven right so many times, so it's just a matter of time.
We'll see how that goes.
But I will embrace Zato into the UP. That is the only advantage you get out of it.
I'm not sure MPP Sisalai's constituents will be happy.
What
but
is he going to do? Then he's contest on the ticket of the MPP.
Yeah, but he's contested the primary ones. So
and he lost it and left there.
But he's a main candidate.
Who's main candidate? UP's candidate or?
The MPP's candidate for the primaries.
You intend to contest
Sisalai
on that ticket, Zato?
when the time
so
comes, I'm sure.
You a mischief. It's like you were born on the same day.
No, I
Yeah.
am
You a
only.
mischief. You were born on the same day.
Let me acknowledge the presence of Yemole Yemo. She lives in the UK as well, Yemo. It's been a while. And then Prince Nani York has also joined us. Mensa Majid joined us from Bono. Azongona Mandela. Samuel Kate, good morning. Stephen Joe also has joined us. Rennie Lopez. Empress, I've seen you as well. So for all those who are joining us, we're grateful that you've joined us this morning.
That's wrong.
Mensa Majid says, I'm watching from Bechim, Toronto. I've always wondered why there's Toronto in Bechim. Pearl Aflakwe also has joined us, and already they say the salvos are being found. Okay, and so we'll put what the position of the presidency was, or the administration was at the beginning of administration, on the line on the screens for you. You got to find the green letter, and that green letter clearly states that. And that green letter clearly states that suspension of the grant of contract appointments, and this one was on the 2nd of April 2025. And it says the grant of post-retirement contract appointment to retired public staff, or the public service staff, has been suspended with immediate effect, and consequently all requests for such appointment will no longer be considered. Kindly take note of this directive and ensure strict compliance. So if you're in public service, that's what it means. All right, signed by PhD Callistus Mahama, the 2nd of April. There's no other communication to that effect that the policy of the government has changed, but we just got the news over the last 24 hours that the current IGP, Yohonu, has his time in office extended additionally, even though by this time, if you go by the refrain of Johnny Hughes and Johnny's by let the retirees go, let the young grow, the supposition will be a question posed whether we don't have people who perhaps will be liked by the president or the administration to fill the shoes of Yohonu should he be retiring, and so has got a lot of tongues wagging. And Fred, I'm told by Robert Coleman, Chief Executive of Wembley Sports Construction, that you were at the AstroTurf Construction commissioning at Ekropon. You were there yesterday.
Yeah, yes. Well, I just want to say, are we ignoring the color combination between the two of them? Are we ignoring the color combination?
Are you Fred?
I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence. I'm just saying.
The color combination here is yellow, green, and blue.
Green, you see?
Roland,
the yellow is for and the black.
Roland.
What is wrong with that?
Roland, a man who can defy his own party, even when they have boycotted their platform. You can defy the directive of your party.
It's beautiful.
Okay. All right. So Robert Kuman said you were at the
yesterday.
AstroTurf commissioning by Wembley Sports Construction.
I met my brother and friend, Koma, I think at Ekropon, where we commissioned one of his projects. You know, I think he's doing a good job. You know,
has he promised to construct one for you at?
If he doesn't, you know what I'll do to him. Right? He needs to come and construct one in the Guan constituency, and so we are having a discussion on that already. I'm sure he will come and construct one for us. We want to develop sports, especially football, in the Guan district. We intend to set up an academy so that we can nurture the young ones. And so I'm in talk with him. To bring all his partners, both home and abroad, to come and team up with us so we can set up a beautiful academy and develop sports talents.
I see. Robert Coleman. So the directive, has it changed? What, based on your inquiries when you got the topic, what did those at the presidency tell you?
Well, it is true. I think let me say good morning to our cherished viewers, especially the good people of the Guam constituency, His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama, the Honorable Atufosen, the team that is managing Ghana's economy. Roland, I'm sure you followed the budget that was presented in Parliament. And so far, everybody is happy with the content of the budget. And what people are praying for is that we are able to implement to the latter so that Ghana will become the beneficiary. I am so impressed about the fact that we intend to invest heavily, especially in palm plantation, so that we can generate more raw materials to, feed our industry, much the same way the rubber industry. I don't know if you have ever been to Grail, Ghana Rubber Estate Company in the Western region. These are institutions that were set up by several Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's administration so we can get raw material and produce our own rubber, produce our own car tires in this country. But it interests you to know that as we speak today, the rubber that we need, the rubber factory we have in this country, they are producing at 29% capacity. It means that we have more room for improvement. Unfortunately, people are still exporting rubber in its raw state out of this country. If
you are digressing from the topic.
I am not. I'll get there.
Okay.
It's just an introduction comment, which we always do. Why are you being impatient this morning? What did you eat?
I had banku and fatidechi yesterday.
I'm not surprised.
And thank you, Philippine Godot, for the food.
I am not surprised. So the rubber industry, I think it's a major issue. If you're able to invest more, expand the farms, I'm told I've got about 100 acres of expansion of the farm. If you're able to do it, it will create more employment for the young people. We'll be able to manufacture even our own car tires in this country. And all this can hunter down our roads that are creating accidents and all that. We'll be able to curtail it. Let me, before we come to the substantive issue, we're also getting very close to December and the carnage on our roads. Every time I get an opportunity, I want to talk about it. Drivers should take caution. They should drive carefully. We don't want to lose any life to December festivities. Now, coming back to the substantive issues, it's true.
Very well.
That somewhere in April of this year, when we took over office, the Secretary to the President, Dr. Kalisu Mahama, issued a statement, I believe from Cabinet and from the Presidency, that we are not going to extend the number of years of people who have gone on retirement when their time is due. And just yesterday, a statement has come up that the Police Council has approved or has recommended that the current IGP's term of office be extended by another 2 years, even though per his age, this year, December, it would have been going on retirement. But the Police Council has made that recommendation to His Excellency the President, and the President too has yielded the call that was made on him. I have heard people raising concern that what happened then to the directive that was issued in April. You can argue about it whichever way you want to argue about it, but there are always exceptions to the rule. Security institutions is a specialized institution, and so sometimes based on expertise, based on experience, and gauging the mood of the country and what is happening in the country, you may want to allow people to stay put if you are convinced that their operation, their activities are those that will inure to the benefit of the larger society. I am not too sure what the Police Council knows about the way and the manner the IGP is managing, the police service and, for that matter, the security of the country as of now, for which they made this recommendation. The sad news is that majority of us can run our commentary, we can agree and disagree on this subject matter, but we are not privy to the information that is available to the Police Council. We are not privy to the information that is available to His Excellency the President, because these are security matters. And
so the President has approved this? Yeah,
if the directive or the statement that was issued yesterday is anything to go by, it means that the President has approved on the recommendation that was made by the Police Council to him. Rowan, I think that I really wish we have time, we can go more deeper and open up this particular conversation.
Please open it up,
I recall before the 2024 elections, there were a number of people who were moving around and trying to lobby even political parties. They submitted proposal to parties asking that we look at the age at which people go on retirement in this country. Some of the people proposed that we can even increase the age to 65 years. Now, if you pick Ghana's population demography and look at it closely, you'd come to agree that we are a very more youthful society. And a lot of young people have completed the universities and all manner of tertiary institutions who are looking for employment opportunities. And so if you want to keep their fathers and mothers at posts, when are these people who are more energetic, who may have, different ways of want to go about things, when are they going to get opportunity to serve? And so it's a major issue that we have to look at, a major question we have to look at. For me, if you have served at an institution for some number of years, you know very well that you're not going to remain there forever and ever. You should be able to prepare, transfer knowledge, transfer skills, transfer abilities, whatever it is, to another group of people who will be able to take it over from you when you are not in office. Because definitely you cannot be there forever and ever. Now, if you check the military, if you join the military as a junior officer, say 18 years and 25 years, the number of years you are supposed to stay and work in the institution is 25 years. So assuming you join at the age of 20, you are retiring at the age of 45. It comes back to the subject of...
No, I think the Kufuor administration took it to 30.
They took it to 30 years. Okay, so assuming that you join at the age of 20 years, you are retiring at 50 years, right? You are able to serve for the entire 30 years. Now, at 50 years, you are still very active.
Yes.
You are still very young. You know, maybe your children are barely in a primary school. You've not taken care of them. Now, what do we have in place for people who go on retirement in this country? You see people, when they finish their work, they go on retirement. It is now they're trying to even put up a house. You know, our SNIT contributions that we do. Go and find out from the average teacher who go on pension, how much are they giving as a seed capital, and how much are they giving on monthly basis? Is that sustainable? Is that able to keep soul and body together?
So are you arguing for or against the decision to extend?
It's a complex issue, and then we need to approach it quite soberly, look at all the issues. We need to be able to put certain mechanisms in place if the current status quo is to remain. You know, people gradually are scared to go on pension. It's as if to go on pension means go home and go and die. Because once you go to pension, as I said, people who live in government facilities, government accommodation and all that, suddenly you go on pension, now you either have to go and rent an accommodation. People who either will not pay water bill, not pay electricity bill, now you are going to pay all these facilities. And have you really prepared for it? How much is your salary? Were you able to plan for your pension adequately?
Are you saying that Yehonu has... he falls in that category?
No. You know, as for...
Or you are making a general...
That's why I said that we can open that for discussion.
Okay.
People like Yehonu and the rest and people at that high level of security services, they often will retire on their salaries and what have you.
Until they die.
And so until they die, they will be on their salaries. So whether he retires today or not, he will still enjoy all the benefits that he's enjoying today as a distant. So I don't think that keeping him there is because of those benefits or rewards. As I said, it could be based on expertise, could be based on experience. But again, these things, we need to look at them very well. Sometimes it brings down morale within institutions, right? Because the aspirations and the desire of everybody who works in an organization is to be able to rise to the very top. And that is why people put in their very best, work so hard, so they are recognized and then rewarded. So it becomes the case that maybe there are times somebody is 58 years now, thinking that Mr. Yehonu will retire next year, December, so he can also get the opportunity at least for 2 years before he goes on pension. Now, Mr. Yehonu's term has been extended by 2 years.
And so he doesn't want to go.
So by the time he's 62 years that he's going, that person that was in the line, who was expecting that the opportunity would have come to him too, would have been 60 years. So 2, 3, 4 of them will exit at the same time. And so even as a nation, we may not have the experience of seeing what those other people could have done, given the opportunity. So it is not a straightforward issue. It's not an issue we can say it is good or it is bad. We need to soberly look at it. The only difficulty we have now, because it's a security issue and we are not close with all the facts and why this decision was arrived at, it becomes very, very difficult to talk about it the way one would have wished to do. And so at this point, whoever want to criticize the decision, especially based on the earlier directive that was issued by this government previously, has a right to do so, whatever reason that the police council also gave for which they made this recommendation, and the presidency also accept the recommendation, that too because we are not really privy to it. But if you read the statement that was put out by Dr. Callistus, I think they largely touch on the fact that the current state of
Put the statement on the screen so that we'll take a look at it, Ms. Abe.
Yeah, the current state of the institution, all of us, political parties, journalists, Ghanaian society, think that the security architect, as well, the police service, needs some resetting, needs some, we need to tweak it a bit to get it to be what exactly all of us.
So you're saying that it's because the government thinks that the police service needs resetting. There are no young people who could also, based on the establishment of the police council, going by the provision in the Constitution, Article 200, as well as subsequently the advisory from the police council, pick the best of the crop to succeed your Hunu. Is that what the government thinks?
What I've tried to do this morning is to look at it from all sides. I've looked at the pros and cons of what extending somebody's, retirement age. That yes, maybe of his expertise, of his experience. Now you can ask the question legitimately so. Is it the case that he is the only person within the setup that have those skills and those experiences, and that when he exits, no other person can do same? No other person. That is a legitimate question you want to ask. That's a legitimate question you want to ask. Now, as I said, the issue of morale, the issue of confidence in the system, sometimes it comes into questioning, and if you don't take time, you are not likely to get the support and the cooperation of other officers along the line. But again, I'm saying all of us are somehow limited based on the information, the facts available to us. The reason why this particular decision was arrived at, more so when a directive has been issued earlier, we are not privy to that. And so we are not able to make definite statements. We can only wish him the very best of luck. We can only pray that he's able to get the police institution. See, Roland, I can say this without any fear of contradiction, that those who think that, like in other jurisdictions where people at this level are even elected by a system, and they are given a tenure of office, so that when they take up the position, they have the confidence to implement policies that will benefit the rest of the society. I think that those arguments, I think that we should bring back to the fore and interrogate and have proper conversation on. Because the current police institution and architecture that we have, all of us political actors, when you're in government, you tend to believe, to accept, to appreciate. As soon as you move into opposition, the same system now come across as is antagonistic towards you. You don't know hostile towards you, because we are able to manipulate, we are able to control, and officers tend to pander to, the political power that gave them the opportunity to serve. And so, if we can, soberly and frankly have a conversation, have we arrived at that point as a nation where these persons, we can get an electoral college that will elect them, we can give them a term of office. So he knows that if I come as an IGP...
I don't understand. Is it also position that at the time that the directive was being issued by Dr. Kalisus Mahama, all these things and ideas, and then the position you're espousing...
I think now on this subject, where I am now, I'm expressing personal views and opinion on the subject matter. I have stated that these are the two statements that we put out, what the government positions are. I cannot challenge it. I cannot disagree with it, because I'm not close with all the facts. And why the government decided on this decision, or why the police council made this recommendation, I cannot question that at this point. The only thing I can do is to support it. However, I've gone beyond just that to look at the other side of it, that what happens within the police institution when some of these directives or these decisions are taken. Does it help the institution itself? And I've also looked at what the conversation has been around for a very long time as to how we can go about this issue so that when officers are in office, they have the peace of mind. They know they are going to stay there until the agreed retirement age. And when that time comes, they bow out quietly. Whichever way, it's a conversation. For me, let people have their views and have their own bite. I know Zato is rehearsing.
Please leave Zato alone. When you were making the point,
that is permissible. At this point, let him look at it.
When you were making your point,
I have not said anything wrong.
When you were making your point,
Yeah.
Dr. Zato never.
Oh, he was smiling a lot. Anytime I turn out,
So he shouldn't smile.
How did you say
Dr.
that?
Zato, smiles of double standards, a position A today and then another position position.
It's what it is.
My dear Honorable, you go explain tire.
I know that.
I feel your pain. Seriously.
I don't have any pain.
You feel his pain,
I feel
eh?
his
Which
pain.
pain? I don't have any
I
pain.
feel his pain.
I don't have any pain.
Look, as a matter of principle, I think every president should be given the opportunity, especially when it comes to national security and security issues, to assemble his team. I think that president should be given enough free hand when it comes to national security. And that so long as they are not breaching constitutional, laws, that they should, because they see things we don't see. They hear things we don't hear. They read reports we don't report. And keeping the realm safe and secured is the #1 responsibility of the president. That's why they are the commander-in-chief. So I believe that the president should not be faced with any challenges when it comes to assembling his national security team. The Inspector General of Police is the core, one of the biggest pillars of their national security. And so a president should have that right. IGP Yohonu is a consummate policeman, law enforcement agent. He's come inside the system, he's handled the transition well, and he's doing his ultimate best for the police. I have absolutely no problem with him professionally or in person. There have been some few fractions with the police here and there. We have cause to complain about them, talk about them, and I think that in general, we need a lot of reforms and things like that. So I have no doubt. The problem is that, like everybody is saying, it is when you see this rampant and flagrant flip-flopping and hypocrisy.
Flip-flopping?
Flip-flopping, completely.
Why do you say that?
That is the problem. You just said it. Nobody forced Callisus Mahama to issue that letter. I don't know if you remember. We discussed it here when that thing came.
Yes, we did.
That day, I was vociferously defending UTAC because university lecturers are in a peculiar situation. Look, sometimes by the time you get promoted to associate professor or prof, you're almost about retiring. And universities have a tendency of keeping full professor and associate professors on board to supervise PhDs.
I remember very well.
To supervise PhDs, MPhils, and mature, while the younger ones are burdened with undergraduate teaching and market. It's a system. So I asked that question. Later on, something happened. The education minister made UTAC and issued a statement that universities were not what? Part of that directive. So my question is that, now, are we saying security services are not part of? You should make that, because whenever the Secretary of the President writes something and issues a statement, we should be able to take it to the bank. We should be able to know that that is a solid, that is the position. But today, then I ask my question, okay, what is the government's policy on post-retirement contracts? I don't know. If a student were to ask me today, okay, what is this current government's policy? I don't know what the policy is. But we should know, there should be policy clarity. It helps people so to know, because now, people can now have the opportunity to read innuendos, to read motives into disappointments. Just precisely because of what you've done.
What you're saying is serious. Are you saying there's policy inconsistency?
There is. You have two statements. So what is this government's policy on this? And this is not the first time we have this policy inconsistency. And that's what I'm talking about, the government flip-flopping. Remember the issue of the Interior Minister saying that Galamseyers will be what? What's the
Repatriated.
name of that? Repatriated. And then the government saying that when they say no, they'll be tried here, and now the president is saying that they need to establish community tribunals to fast track them. So I'm asking, how will you fast track them and prosecute them while you're also repatriating them? Or are you saying that only Ghanaian Galamseyers will face the rigors of the tribunals? So when I'm asking, why do you keep having this flip-flopping, these policy inconsistencies within one government? Why? Why can't they get their acts together and tell us that, look, this is an articulate, a coherent policy, so that we understand? You could also, because you see, if you look at Callisus Mahama's statement, he did not make any provisions. There were no loopholes to say that, look, or except under certain circumstances. And sometimes it's important.
As in there were no caveats.
No caveats. Just read it. Sometimes when your issues are, you need to put those caveats, because again, you are running the machinery of state. And sometimes things happen. You need it. So when you put it like that, that is where you can then come back to say, look, yes, this was the policy, but this and this has changed. I can understand that. But if you issue no caveat, if you put nothing there, and then you are now coming out to tell me that you have not issued it, and you see, conveniently, completely just ignore that other statement. They don't even make reference to it. So what are we supposed to make of this? This is, apart from it sounds even amateurist, because you don't expect very experienced policy makers, people who have been there, done that before, to be engaged in such activities. It doesn't help anybody. Now I'm asking myself, if I am also the CDS, chief of defense staff, and I'm also retired. So should I also expect one? If I am, should I also expect
CDS?
No, I'm not like if you are the CDS. Should I also expect one chief of defense staff, right? If I'm also in another security agency, should I expect one? Now, imagine I'm in the prison service, the head of prison service. Should I also expect one? If I don't give one, and then Yohunu is giving one, is it because you don't like me? Why? But assuming you came out, it's not too late. By the end of today, the National Security Coordinator or the government could come out and look, this directive given does not apply to the security services. For the security services, His Excellency still retains that power to decide on case-by-case basis. Most of that is what you do. So that again, we now know that there's consistency, that when that time happens, the president will be allowed. But if you don't do that, and you keep doing it, then you put us into a guessing state. And once you do that, this is how the people, they can compromise their professionalism. They can now, if assuming yes, assuming I'm the head of the prison services, I'm not asking, and I'm near retirement. The question I ask myself, what do I have to do to get a post-retirement contract? So whatever I'm doing, that is in my mind, because I know that if I do something against the party, I will get a contract. If I do something against the government, I won't do it. So if I put my professionalism above other political interests, it may come to hurt me. That is what begins to what? Compromise their professionalism. But if there's a clear-cut policy that, look, this can happen, then I can also factor it, like you are saying. The moment you become a judge, we then assume that you have life tenure. So in this case now, you can, well, there are issues about promotions that we can come to. Or if you're a Supreme Court judge, you have life tenure, but then there's the issue whether you're going to be Chief Justice.
Because the current Chief Justice was there 17 years.
Exactly.
Ignored.
Thank you. So I'm saying that in those cases, there's still consistency. He's not losing the job as a Justice of the Supreme Court. But the point I'm saying is that the bigger point here becomes, let there be some consistency, especially in the security services, because they don't sleep so that we sleep.
Okay.
If you make them begin to second guess and begin to now play pander to political whims and caprices, the safety of the realm might be compromised.
Okay. So the point has been made here about this is a security issue. There are provisions in the Constitution that says that the police council, then, based on that appointment, of course, on advice of the Council of State, would have to be working with the Inspector General of Police, advisory, looking at internal security, etc. So if they advise or recommend and say, look, this man has just been at the helm of affairs so short a time, there's this program of action, of course, where it's just a supposition, etc. And so we think we need to keep him there for some time to do consolidation due to national security issues, etc. Could we have exceptions irrespective of whether there are no caveat to an earlier statement or not in this extension, in this narrative we're having? So look.
Bro, just give me 30 seconds.
I give you... Fred took 3, 4, 5 minutes to talk about...
Over the weekend, I was in Tamale and Salaga, and let me express my sincere appreciation to all those that extended a hand of help. You are many.
Tamale and Salaga.
Salaga. You are many.
What were you doing there?
I was on my, you know, we are doing politics.
United Party?
Absolutely. And I
did you meet some of the aspirants from MPP on the rounds?
They are joining our party in their thousands. It's amazing. And we will continue to encourage them. And let me also use this opportunity to honor one young man who is doing something great in this country. That is Robert Coleman.
Robert Coleman.
Wembley Sports Complex.
Wembley Sports Construction Company Limited.
That young man must be given all the necessary support in this country. If we help him,
the AstroTurfs.
He is doing a human job. So, Robert,
Introduce me to him.
you know, I only
for Sisala. Sisala East.
Why not if it's going to help in the sport development of Sisala East? What is the big deal about this?
I'm saying introduce to him.
Me myself, I need one at Oka South for my people.
South.
Yes.
You know he's going for primary, so he needs it so that he can...
On the circuit of the UP?
No, MPP.
United
Please
Party.
go ahead.
MPP is collapsed. What is he doing in that party?
They are having their primary.
They haven't even boycotted this platform.
So what is he doing here?
Please go ahead.
The biggest platform in this country.
Is he on his own right?
No, he's an MPP member.
Yeah, sure.
Who's
But
going to
he's
join
on
the
his own
UP?
right. Please go ahead.
It doesn't respect the
Roland.
president.
Solo and Fred, I call you to order.
Thank you. Order.
So first of all, my candid opinion. I am not one of those that are for contract extensions. I am not for it.
Why?
Because then it, as it were, diminishes morale in various workplaces. But you see, I find nothing wrong, absolutely wrong, from my candid opinion, heart of heart, with what the president has done.
Why?
You see, when you are the president of the land, all you need to do, your Bible is the Constitution. Is that not the case?
This
So,
one?
This is the Constitution. The president is regulated by the Constitution. Now, if we go to Article 199, which has been amended, I mean, the Act 527, the Constitution Amendment Act of 1996, it gives the president that opportunity to extend people that are due for retirement their tenure by no more than 2 years. Because Article 99 says that people are supposed to retire by the age of 60 years.
199.
Yes. Then we amended, Ghana as a country amended our own constitution and gave the president the opportunity to extend public officers who are due for retirement by 2 years. That's the maximum. They cannot go beyond the 2 years. So if I am a citizen that is expecting the president to operate within the confines of the law, and I see that the president has done this, all that I need to do is to check with the law whether the president is right or wrong. So on the basis of the law, the president is right. And then the reason why they said that he can only do so based on the exigencies of the situation. You and I know that Yohonu was appointed somewhere on the 13th of March 2025. Let's be fair to ourselves. 13th of March 2025, he's due on retirement December. It means you would have expended 11 months. Yohonu took over 11 months.
No.
Less than that.
Less than that. That would be 9 months.
9 months.
And you and I were in this country. He took over a turbulent police administration.
Oh, how so?
Here was a police administration where, what's the name? Dampare was sacked and people were jubilating openly.
Within the rank and
Within
file.
the rank and file at the various barracks. So he took over a mess situation.
Really?
That he needed to calm it down. I'm telling you, I don't know Yohonu anyway, and I don't intend, I only know him as the IGP. But you see, we must always be frank to the fact. Now, March to date, he's stabilizing the system. Now, you don't hear the bickering that much. So if you are the president, within only less than 11 months, you say another IGP must come. Now, it starts the issue of what you call it, lobbying, with its own confusion. So if you're a new administration, you would want the system to stabilize first before you bring in a new IGP. Now, let's put Callisto's first statement that seems to be the talk of town, and then let's dissect it and see whether those that are criticizing him and the statement will stand the test of time. You see, a casual look at it, I started criticizing him until I took a deep breath. Sometimes you must take a deep breath and go back to the statement and see whether or not it is we that are as we're running ahead of ourselves, or he was also spot on with that statement. Look, what is the heading of that statement?
Suspension of the grant of contract appointments.
Kindly give me the meaning of to suspend something. If you say suspending of something or suspension of something, what is this? To suspend something, what is it?
Suspension.
Or suspend.
A state of... Okay, suspension. Okay. So suspension. The meaning is...
Is a noun. Is that not the case? So it comes from suspend.
The action of suspending someone or something, or the condition of being suspended.
So go to suspend. Type suspend. And let's see whether this will not stand the test of what we are discussing. To suspend is what?
Temporarily prevent from continuing or being enforced. Why this explanation in English?
Emphasis on temporarily. So he chose his word carefully. And I give it to him for getting it right. He's a land economist. He's my senior course mate. He got it right.
From KNUST?
KNUST. He was my TA.
And he lectured us.
I have known him to be a brilliant student, and I would have been very surprised he would have made that fundamental
Dr.
error.
Kalistus Muhammad?
Absolutely.
Put the statement back on the screen.
So to suspend is to temporarily hold on to something. What was happening before this release? People were all over the place, including academia.
GRA,
they wanted extension.
Why not? It's allowed by the Constitution.
And that was a new administration that had come into place April 5th. I mean, the president was sworn in on the 7th of January. By March, he was still even appointing his ministers. So if you come around and say that you need extension, it will be a problem. So what this release sought to do was to put temporary hold on these extensions. Did he give you the timeline for the temporary hold? Or did he need to come back to you and tell you that the temporality of it has been taken off?
Why not? If he issued a statement publicly,
So,
then you come back.
so the point is that he issued the statement to deal with the specific situation. Are you with me? Now, the exigencies, that's why I started from the angle of the Constitution. Is the president allowed to do what he has done? The answer is yes. He's right on, he's spot on under Act 527.
Hey, Solo.
Are you with me? So the point is that it is matter do about nothing. Then you go back into the Constitution. The president is supposed to be advised on how to manage the security by what? The police, by the police council. Is that not the case? I have also read on various portals, including your network, a report just recently on the 3rd of November 2025.
You mean 3news.com?
3news.com, written by Stanley Nibleu. Does he work here? He's one of your reporters, where he was quoting one Angel Lolo, who is, I think he's supposed to be a member of the police council, touring around the country. When I read it, and I said, let me find out, because I have a lot.
Angel Lolo.
Angel Lolo. He's supposed to be, I think he's a council member, if my memory serves me right. Now, I went back to have a huge support, friends in the police to find out whether indeed there were engagements within the police service as to whether there has to be an extension of the IGP's mandate or not. And guess what? That was when I realized from my friends that the police, Fred has been a police officer before, am I right? No, you have never been a police. No.
He's been an education.
Oh, sorry. That the police had, or they have 25 regions. You know, Ghana has a 16 region. But in the police, they have 25 regions. They went round and solicited the views of junior ranks and senior ranks.
Are you talking about they have 25 commands or?
No, I said
regions?
that. No,
Regions.
police deals with regions. You know, in Greater Accra, we have
Yes,
Tema is a region,
Tema region,
and then we have
exactly.
absolutely. So, I stand for correction, but what I got from my friends in there was that they have 25 regions, and that they saw their views, and the majority view was that because of the way and manner there has been turbulence within the police service, it will only make sense to extend Yohunu's tenure so that he brings balance into the system. That's why some of these says, you see, it is very, very, it's a thin and a fine line that you need to find out, because we are dealing with a security institution. Once again, we are dealing with people who also had expectations, because if Yohunu had left, somebody would have taken over. That person would have also been an IGP, and it would have been good for him.
What about the question that has been posited here about a state of policy inconsistency?
What is inconsistent about this?
Well, a release has been given.
The release, I just told you that to suspend is to temporarily hold on. So there was no policy inconsistency. There is no policy inconsistency anyway. You understand? The man chose his word. If the man had said that we have cancelled it, that would have even been unconstitutional. Because I've just told you that we have amended our Article 199 to say that the president has the power to extend. When it happened to Appear to, in this country, IGP Appear was given 2 years extension, fell in line with the same provision. This is not the first time. You see, the reason why people are making, I will give you the opportunity to come. I don't have any problem, because what I'm telling you is my frank, unbiased position. That if somebody must come and point to me with constitutional provision that the president has flouted, that I always keep referring you to that.
Nobody around the table here is saying, Fred hasn't said, Zato hasn't said, even those arguing against this new extension are arguing that the president has flouted any constitutional provision.
So then what are we discussing?
Okay, so the discussion is that despite the existence of a constitutional provision and the power that the Constitution enjoins on the president, there has been a directive from that same president.
A temporal directive.
I think that's the law.
That's your interpretation.
No, that is what the meaning of it is.
Please put a statement on the line, because this thing.
If you don't take the
Solo,
I have nothing to lose with it. When the IGP is not there, what am I going to lose?
So
if the IGP is out for the place, what is my interest in there?
So
If he's there, what is my interest in there? I don't have any interest. I don't intend to be in police. I don't have anything to do with it. In fact, the police is supposed to protect us. So whoever is the IGP, his first mandate is to protect me. But we are analyzing a situation. And I am combining. I've seen where people, sometimes it's not that everyone is shouting hallelujah, hallelujah makes them Christians. You must take your time and go back and also give the benefit of doubt. So knowing the caliber of the executive secretary and his intellect, I said, let me take a second look at the statement. So I saw suspension. Then I saw suspension in mandate for suspend. Then I looked at the meaning of to suspend. And I saw to put a temporary hold on something. And
temporarily prevent from continuing
absolutely.
Or being in force or effect.
Yeah, it's temporary.
So if something is temporary, how would you then come back and say that was the policy position?
Maybe the only argument, or a little bit.
Yes.
Maybe if you are say, for instance, that a statement that was issued
Yes.
was cut in a way.
Fred, are we making this argument as if the statement was not issued at all? Because the statement was
Nobody
issued.
has said no, but the press alone
The statement was issued to deal with a specific situation.
Yes.
You have come into government, everyone was looking for extension of mandate, and you have not even finished with the full complement of
Really,
ministers
so
to deal with matters. Why then would you then go ahead and say that you are approving it? You put a temporary hold on it, and then later you allow the system to flow.
Okay, I have this one from an ACP.
Yes.
An ACP says, Solo is right. The police service was in a state of turbulence at the time Yohunu took office. This is an ACP. I can't mention his name.
No, but
You've seen it.
yeah, but it's a well-known fact. Unless you want to play the ostrich here, you understand?
Really?
But look here, even if you were going to do politics with Yohunu was appointed as a deputy IGP in this country by Akufo-Addo. Is that not the case?
Well, that's true.
So in terms of politicking, then the NDC is taking they are taking that big bite by making someone who was appointed by Akufo-Addo as a deputy IGP and the IGP.
Solo.
But you cannot look at it that way. You understand?
You are conflating two completely different.
Which ones are that?
And that's the point.
You see, the problem I have with you is that, when you were speaking, I was sitting down here. You have not been given the opportunity. What problem do you have with this IGP?
Not.
I
didn't like it.
What problem do you have with the statement?
Good. Now let me tell you this.
Now, have you given him the opportunity?
No, you haven't ended.
So
for me, so that I'll come.
So if it was,
Please end for me. You have 30 seconds.
but you see, we need to clear it. If it was him, you would have played
I'll be quiet.
the victim.
I'll be quiet.
That you never allowed him by interjecting. But the truth of the matter is that the two statements, there are nothing wrong with it. The police council, nobody has come that the police council never recommended the extension of the IGP's mandate to the president. Once the president received that recommendation and acted upon it, and once I look at the statement that was put out by Callistos, and I do not find anything wrong with it, on what basis would I go to town with? Because everyone is saying it, I also told that lie. No way. Obviously, what I'm saying would have.
So you are going against the grain.
Oh, absolutely. There is nothing has taken place. It's much ado about nothing. Just that people will suffer because of the extension. People will be 60 years and above, and they will not have the opportunity to be IGP. I sympathize with some people because they had expectations. But there is nothing illegal about it. If the president had done anything illegal, I'll be the first person to call him out.
All right. You wanted to say something because
let
me override you.
Okay. We are conflating two completely different things. I have not said, and nobody here has said that.
Indeed.
IGP Yohunu. I've actually said that. Look, the president should not be what handcuffed behind
But I
him.
did not cite you that you have said that.
Yeah, good. Thank you. You've done
No,
that.
so why are you saying that? So if you are saying,
I'm
say
not
that
saying that
I'm
I'm
conflating
responsible.
to you. No, but you see, you must
He's
be
making,
clear.
he's making
He said that I am
you just
conflating.
traveled, went to Salaga and Tamale and came back. Relax.
But people in Tamale,
He's relaxed.
they greet
He's
you,
relaxed.
bro.
That's his relaxed. The point I'm making is that we wouldn't have been here, one, had there not been that statement. That statement, because the question now you ask yourself is that such statements, such acts, lead to what? People who are losing faith in governance. It leads to people not trusting public servants when they come out. When you issue a statement, even if it is temporal, has the temporal statement been lifted? If it's temporal, has it been lifted? Has it been lifted? You could not tell us. That's what I'm saying. That in this appointment, there could have just been a line that says that.
A caveat. That's when they find.
When they find. Or you could have just said that, or issue another statement that suspension has been listed. And I've asked the question. Is it now? Has that statement now been? Has it outlived its usefulness? We understand that yes.
So for you, the statement issue or the one circulated
Yes.
Currently,
Yes.
so-called signed by Carlos Umar, could have had maybe a caveat that pursuant to an earlier statement.
That's one way.
Okay.
Another way could have been to now say that, okay, we have now settled. We were a government transition. We've now settled. We've now taken full control. So we have suspended that temporary session. Is now removed. Now the president will now address these issues on a case-to-case basis. You bring clarity to the situation. My point is that if you haven't done that, now we have two policies there.
Okay.
Which is which?
I don't get it.
This is
That's why I don't get what you're saying. I don't get what you're saying.
He says that the temporary suspension is
temporary.
So it's still in effect.
What are you talking
So
about?
is it still in effect?
But temporal means that it's temporary.
Temporary.
It's
Yes,
not,
temporary.
it's not
So
permanent.
So with this, it lifts it. It lifts it.
So now you are telling us that suspension has been lifted.
No, but that is the only reasonable deduction you can make out of
No,
it.
you cannot.
Why?
You cannot, because that policy still stays.
Okay.
It still stays.
So what you are saying that
what
you are saying that the statement issue confirming the extension of the years of Yehonu does not override.
No, it doesn't. They have not said that.
But he says it overrides.
Based on what?
But this is the
on the
current
act in
statement.
itself.
No. So my point is that my argument is that it's important for us to know this. And it doesn't hurt. It doesn't cost anything to bring clarity to this. It doesn't hurt for the secretary.
So that is another matter you are discussing. Now you now want clarity.
It's the main matter. If you, the question is the main matter. It's the only matter. Have you rescinded that thing? Have you annulled it? Yes. Now we are going to deal with, or you could say that, because it happened. I'm saying this happened. When it came to education and UTAG, the Minister of Education says this does not apply. It was clarified.
Is there?
Yes, the Minister of Education
the
clarified
academia
that
one.
it does not apply to academia. Policy clarification, simple. You could say a similar thing. This one does not apply to.
So you are saying that there's a void because there hasn't been public
but we
statement.
are not being fair to the
clarify.
situation. Look, Zato, let's get it clear. Around April, there was so much confusion
I agree.
everywhere.
I
You
agree
couldn't
with
have
you.
singled
I
out
agree.
other
I
areas.
agree. But
So
you could do it.
All
now.
right. Let's go out of the
But
studio.
this
We have
one
on street.
overrides it.
Fred, I'll come back to you. Emmanuel Kutin is a security person. He's always helping us with some of these discussions. Emmanuel Kutin, you take a look at the current statement of the extension of IGP Yehonu. I'm sure you have your own intel. You pick intel. Indeed, we have to acknowledge that at the time of his appointment, there was a lot of disharmony, so-called, among the rank and file, or within the personnel of the Ghana Police Service, so to speak. But would you say that justifies this extension of IGP Yehonu's term, even though he's supposed to retire this December?
Well, Roland, thank you for having me, and very good morning to my good brothers in the studios, Honorable Fred Agbenyo, Honorable Dr. Zato, and my good friend Solo. In fact, we as an organization have come out with a press statement, and we don't need to get this thing twisted. It's not about Yehonu as a person. It's about two things: government policy and the Office of the Inspector General of Police. You see, when you bring a policy,
Which one is the policy?
and we've all been students of public policy before, communication matters. And I think this government have to respect the people of this country, and they don't need to do things haphazardly the way things have been done. Nobody forced this government to bring a policy that they were no longer going to give any form of extensions to our public service heads. And clarification was sought, and they gave exception to the university lecturers. Now, if you are suspending that policy, you need to come back to the good people of this country. First, the policy was to promote institutional continuity. And it was also to give some kind of prediction to succession. And thirdly, the argument was that it was to be merit-based progression within the public service. So if at any point in time, and as a security watcher, I know there are so many things the president and people at the top there can see and we at the bottom cannot see. there is a need for this extension, you have to communicate clearly to the good people of this country. The president simply behaved like Pontius Pilate, that the police council had made a recommendation and he has nothing to do about it than to sign it off. And I don't think that is proper in our security management systems. Also, we have to look at what the decision represents. If you look at the communication from the president, it represents a very significant departure from its stated policy, one. It also undermines government credibility with its reforms commitments. And it also sends mixed signals about its approach to institutional governance. And don't forget, when this government came, they did away with so many generals at the helms of the military. Some of us were calling for institutional memory. The government said they wanted to give opportunity to the up and coming ones. Majority of Ghanaians applauded that and gave the president the benefit of the doubt. You know what happened to the former IGP, circumstances surrounding his removal, and how this IGP was appointed. So we cannot choose and pick. It doesn't help in our security governance architecture. And there are so many questions. That's why I find it so problematic with my good brother Solomon when he became a lawyer this morning, quoting the Constitution. And, these are not constitutional matters. They are security issues, and it transcends beyond political propaganda. That's why in my initial statement, I mentioned that we shouldn't get this thing twisted. It shouldn't be about the person of COP, but it should be about the office of the IGP and the policy per se. Now, we ask questions. What single initiative, that's the question as an organization we are asking, has the IGP introduced or implemented that warrants this extension? It has to be clear here. Sometimes this kind of extraneous conditions will make the president to say that I'm going to give this extension based on this and that and that. Beyond the rhetoric, they have not put anything concrete on the table that the IGP have done A, B, C, or D. And we as an organization, when it comes to transformative policy, we have seen none. When it comes to operational innovations, we've seen none. When it comes to institutional reforms, we've seen none. And I want to challenge my brother Solomon. He said there was some form of research or done among the rank and file of the police, and they said, given what happened in the tenure of the past IGP, this one should be made to continue because it was the period he came was so short a time. I will challenge him for those things to be made public. At least we are in a democracy. You don't just come and pass on certain information and get away with it. I want the station to put my good brother, I know he will not be comfortable with me this morning, to the strictest of proof to provide those evidence. Have you forgotten let the retiree go? Your very good friend Johnny's Bite, when this policy came, we were hailing the government. Let the retirees what? Go. And we were of the opinion that the youth make over 60% of the population of this country. Is it not the case? Go and look at international laws and UN conventions. They are even urging governments to make sure that their development agenda are hinged on youth development. So if people are attain their statutory retirement age and you are giving them contracts, what happens to the upcoming ones? And I think that working in the police service over 30 years, being in uniform is not an easy thing. Knowing you will know, if I were you will know, I'll tell the government, no, thank you. I will go home and rest and give opportunities to the upcoming ones. And you see that the decision, it bears the unfortunate appearance of political patronage rather than a merit-based institutional management decision, like I indicated in my previous submission. Does this very, very decision serve public interest or a narrower political consideration? So as a country, and this is what we as an organization will do, we have tried as much as possible to be very consistent because integrity matters to us more.
Mr.
Mr.
Coaten.
Whipping Dampari, we should use the same cane to whip Yewonu. Because look at the accusation that came on the back of Dampari. Have we seen any transformation or anything around those things? At best, I can confirm that the sins Dampari was accused of is still persistent under Yewonu. Is it that Yewonu is more Ghanaian than Dampari? We cannot do that as a country.
All right.
And we also feel that as an organization, the issue of morale
Mr.
within the service will be greatly affected.
Mr. Coaten.
Yes.
I take it that you're Mr. Dampari's friend, Dr. Dampari is your friend, or you're just in the space, and so you're making the argument like the way you are.
If you check it, Dampari has never liked me.
Okay.
I was the #1 critic of Dampari. Go and check the record.
All right. Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
I'm just being truthful to the matter by way of policy.
Okay.
Not
I get your point.
for any individual consideration.
All right.
Go and ask. Yewonu is my good friend. I visit him in his house and things. And if I were to meet Yewonu, I'll tell him that, senior, you know why? You are tired. Visibly, it appears on you are tired. You have done your bit. Go home and rest. I would have told him the same thing.
All right.
I think that this government is fast losing the kind of
goodwill
Ghanaian has in it when it came. And it has to watch carefully. Because look at it in this window. The Chief Justice have just been nominated and appointed. He has less than a year or two to serve.
Okay.
Are you going to extend his own when it comes?
All right.
Are you going to do the same to the CDS and other security heads?
Mr. Coaten.
Yes.
Do you not think in making such decisions, the overriding provisions in the Constitution, which gives power to the president to make considerations as to who he appoints to key security institutions, overrides whatever argument about all the things you say, irrespective?
Well, Solomon said the Constitution is the President's Bible. That is absolutely right.
Okay,
I'm coming.
So if that is the case, then the president is not wrong, Casey.
No, we are talking about policy. You didn't make me to learn. Look, as far as the Constitution is the Bible of the president, no one forced the president to come out with these policy guidelines. And don't forget, policy drives government into action. It's not as if because the Constitution mandates you to do A, B, and C, you have to do that. Then otherwise, the accusation we placed on MPP that they were giving contract extensions to their cronies, then they cannot equally be wrong. And we can be fair to the presidency of Nana Akufo-Addo, given the criticisms we gave them. You see, in this country, it is so easy to choose and pick. But we as an organization, our eyes are fixed on the ball and will not be drafted into this arena of choosing and picking. Integrity really matters to us, and we have to call a spade a spade. And I'm urging Yewonu that if the police council is making this recommendation and the president has signed it off for his own integrity, one, and for the health of the security architecture and the police as an institution, he should say, no, thank you, Mr. President, I want to go home and rest.
You mean he should rescind the extension? You should not accept it.
If you look at the letter, they say he has 3 days to say
respond.
Yes or no.
All right. Thank you very much.
I'm urging him that given this kind of debate, which is so unpalatable, look, let me give you this thing. When Yewonu came, a lot of the police officers jubilated. we were all expecting that we will go back to the
Mr. Kote, your time
former
is up.
where-
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So Fred, thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Kote.
I vehemently disagree with.
Well, he says by way of policy, it's at variance.
I completely disagree with him. And again, when he says that Mr. Dampare, Dr. Dampare is not his friend, he himself admitted on UTV, I watch him, when he said Madam Tiwa and Dampare are very good friends. So if he come on TV3,
he said Yohunutu is his friend. That's what he said.
But so you didn't say that the man didn't like me, they were friends. You see, we are in a democracy. Everybody has a right of an opinion on every subject. Nobody can take that right from anybody. But don't assume that because that is your right, everybody else is wrong. You know, I don't think that is fair in a democracy. You are saying what you are saying based on the facts available to you. Whoever took the decision also took that decision based on the facts available to him. I don't think that all of us who are running this commentary like Mother Ghana than the president who took the decision or the police council that took the decision. I don't think any of us like the police service than those who are in the police council themselves. The senior police people are represented on the police council. And I don't think that we know better than them. Yes, it's within our right as Ghanaians to run commentary and to express our views and opinion on this subject matter. The most important thing, and nobody has said that so far, that this constitution, the Republic of Ghana, the 1990 constitution, has been violated in any way. And I think Solo raised a point that is very, very important when he says, per the first statement that was issued, the extension was suspended. The extension was not abolished. Because to abolish that would mean that you'd have infringed on the 1992 Constitution. It was only suspended. I agree with you, and I agree with Dr. Zato when he says that in issuing this second directive or statement, at least a caveat or reference should have been made to the earlier statement. In crafting these speeches again, from where they sit at the presidency, what they know, what they are privy to, that you and I don't know. I am very, very, very certain that they thought through all these things. These statements are not just crafted by one person in his bedroom and put in the public domain. They might have checked every word, the wording, every single expression, and they are convinced that under the circumstances, it is the right thing to do, and they have done it. We can disagree with them. That is fine. But once we cannot prove at this point that the Constitution has been violated or they have done something that has never been done in this country before, I don't think that we can drag this issue too much.
Not always right.
Yeah, so we can't drag this issue very much.
Okay.
All we can
Please
say,
conclude for
all
me.
we can say at this point is that we wish Mr. Yohonu the very best. We will still plead with the police hierarchy, everybody. Give him the support and the cooperation, everything that he needs to be able to deliver to all of us the kind of security that all of us will be happy with. That is all I can say at this point. So, I don't know. We can leave this. Maybe we come to the next topic. And then we'll move on.
Okay.
What do you say?
Solo has made his position
All of
clear.
us are clear.
Now so let's get into the last subject. We'll spend some few minutes on it. It's on the
Is it
High Court issue.
I thought you were even going to talk about
Which one?
the Wesley Girls.
No, with the Wesley Girls. Okay.
That
You
issue.
want to share? You want to share?
You see, Lauren, sometimes we need to be very careful.
Spend 2 minutes.
If there's one thing that we have succeeded in doing this country beautifully, is the fact that when it comes to religious tolerance, we have done that beautifully. We have coexisted. We have been a happy people. I am a politician. I campaign at all places. When I am going to a Muslim community to go and campaign, when I have to visit the mosque, I put my Christian biases and belief systems aside.
You even wear
so I
a
can meet.
bubu and all that.
I will dress to reflect that. I have seen a number of times, even the vice president, when he has to visit any Muslim community, his hair is well covered. I've seen my women organizer, Dr. BigIssue. I've seen all the women in our NDC. You will see them reflecting that. In this country, we have Christian schools, we have non-Christian schools, we have Muslim schools, and what have you. If I, Fred Agbenyo, today decide that I'm going to attend Islamic University or that I'm taking my son to Islamic University, I must be willing, ready, and prepared to follow the ethos and the belief system of that institution to the extent that nobody compel me to choose that school to go. You understand? We all know the role that the various faiths have played over the year in maintaining discipline, especially at the secondary school level. The Catholic Church, the Methodist Church, the Presbyterian Church, the Islamic faith, all of them have played, and it is the culture of that religion that has found expression in the institution, that the discipline that we are talking about has always come to the fore, that we have seen. And so I am not too happy with this whole issue that is going on. Why?
Well, Wesley Girls, they insist that...
You see, this thing about right. In this country, we are as if we are copying blindly, even child rights. Go and check the way we are pushing those whole issues, forgetting that we are a people, we have a culture, we have a religion, we have a way of life. Today, when you go to the West and see the way they are going about their things, they are bringing up their children. Several people who live in America and every part of the world now, they are bringing their children back to Ghana. They think that they are supposed to come and imbibe our culture. They must come and understand our way of doing things because they think that is happening in America. But we sit here and some few people go and study a few things out there and they come and impose on all of us. Right. You can't discipline, you can't control, you can't... What are we doing to ourselves? I beg, this thing should not become a subject for discussion. Before your child leaves home, my children are attending a Catholic school. I am not a Catholic. Once they are there, it's incumbent on them that they respect the decision of the church. It's as simple as ABCD.
That position you've just espoused is at variance with what the Minister of Education has said.
What did he say? He said that the Constitution...
I know, the Constitution. But what you've just said...
Rights.
Yes, exactly. What you've just said is completely different at variance with what the Minister of Education just said yesterday. Because he was saying that it doesn't matter if you are a Muslim and you go to a Catholic school, you should still be allowed to practice your faith. You are saying that if you are not a Catholic, but if your child goes to a Catholic school, he didn't have that. So I'm saying they are at variance.
But what did he say wrong? What did the minister...
I'm not saying they are saying wrong. Okay. I'm simply saying that the position he just articulated now is at variance with what...
I'm echoing the minister's position.
It's at variance.
Stating a position.
I'm stating a position.
That's why he's bringing that in the first place.
That what you're saying is different from what the minister said. But here's my position.
He didn't say you were.
I'm not saying you were. I'm just saying that what you've said is different from what the minister said. And these inconsistencies that are the problem. This is what I'm saying. These inconsistencies are the problem.
What is the inconsistency?
I attended a Catholic junior seminary.
Which one?
And St. Francis Xavier. So I should have been a priest. But something happened. Yeah, I should have been a priest. But
you should have been a priest.
Yes.
Preaching in the church.
I should have gone to the major seminary, to the junior, minus the senior seminary. I didn't go. Some things
Dr. Zato.
But yeah, it's true.
Reverend Father Zato.
That would be the nice thing. That would be nice. Some beautiful girl confused me. Let's go back a point. Look, there are certain things. That is where I was talking about why policy is important. You see, public policies tend to be utilitarian. They try to satisfy the biggest benefit for the biggest people. Laws tend to be very specific. Laws just pick winners and losers. They just said you have lost and you've gone. These issues have been there have been some kind of balance that have existed in secondary schools all this while. The balance has been in such a way that schools have found ways to accommodate these things without losing their identities. The moment you take these things to court, and the moment the justice system or the courts are called to rule, they are going to make emphatic rules. Courts, they are not going to find middle grounds. And that is the way we are heading towards. Because when you go to court, they all go to court. And everybody starts talking about the rights you are talking about. At the end of the day, we are going to have a system that the age long, the harmony that has existed in secondary schools is going to be a sacrifice on the altar of right when it goes to court. And you've seen, look, the position you've articulated is also the same or similar to what the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference and the Christian Council of Ghana have espoused. So now if everybody is moving to their corners, what we now see, everybody is moving to their corners, taking entrenched positions. When you do that, it's the children that suffer. When you do that, it's the children that do not benefit. I believe that there's enough room in the middle for people to move from entrenched positions to find common grounds for the sake of the children. For the sake of the children, everybody should see. We should find a way. I don't think it's too late to remove this case from the courts, to come out, let us sit down and enjoy. I don't think it's too late. I don't think it's too late for the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference, the Christian Council, and the Muslim brothers and sisters to sit down on the altar. Exactly. So this issue, I'm saying that people should advise to withdraw this case, and then we can go to that memorandum and find a common space. Because if you allow this thing to continue to the court, and we then allow the court to make a ruling, the ruling, I don't think, might inure to the benefit of the children. We should always put the interest of the children at heart.
So which position did you espouse?
My position is that, please, withdraw the law, withdraw the suit, and now let us go to the memorandum of understanding that was established and use it to work.
Between the missions and
Between the missions,
yeah, because there was an agreement.
There was an agreement. Let's go back to the
Mission school should be
agreement.
mission school.
I went to Prempeh College.
Prempeh is which mission?
Presby and Methodist.
Okay.
Before then, I had never sung any Methodist hymn or Presbyterian hymn before.
You didn't go to church?
I mean, I on the street. Me, I wanted to practice. Yeah, street. I wanted to practice my fetish priest on Prempeh College.
You wanted to be traditional,
so that we,
so to speak,
we put on our powder.
Yeah. You know, my name is Jebunche, right?
It's absurdity that Methodist, the Wesley Girls School must insist.
Really?
They must insist on what has brought the school to where it is, for which reason parents want to send their wards there. Prempeh College must insist on what has brought the school to the levels that people want to attend. TIMAS must insist. Look, there was this ruling about the Rasta man in Achimota. People were jubilating. We must allow right. If you are a young man and you are going to school, are you going to learn discipline or you want to do what pleases you?
No, but Rasta doesn't mean you are in.
What Rasta? Go to Rasta school. The school says you must keep your head at a
It's
certain.
now in the US doing export.
Forget about that. I've seen him writing all. You see, we must not introduce impunity in our system.
But what is impunity?
What are you talking about? The school says A, B, C, D. That's why we learn discipline. After school, if you want to do your own thing, go and do your own thing.
You mean conformity?
Conformity.
What is it?
Then they must also go there and say that you will not attend prep. It's against our religion.
We wear bosses.
What is this?
We wear bosses to lectures.
This right is what some professors asked us to be doing tumu in this country. Remember, tumu, LGBTQ. I saw professors going to court. We must allow men and men, women and women to be sleeping because of right. Small thing, we are in court. Because we think that we know English.
You think that's a bin of
But Wesley girls must insist. They can go to court and get their ruling. You go and meet the teachers there. What is this business? We are going to practice our religious faith. We must do, what is this? Your words are there to learn discipline. When they come back to their homes, you infuse your religion into them. Why is it that they are not even preaching about African religion? All this Western religion. They are not even talking about that. Look, the schools are what they are because there are certain principles. And not because you want to introduce to them new things to destroy the schools. Ever since you started all these business, some of the quality, the caliber of schools we had, the quality is even going down. We are not allowing the schools to implant in these walls the discipline that we used to know. The last time I went to my alma mater, I saw some boys keeping bushy hair. I said, this is not Prempeh College standard. You dare not put your hair go beyond a certain meter.
No, but Gen Zs have hair bushy.
They are on our various campuses using manner was doing TikTok because of some of these things. Everything I know my right. Hey, Mr. Education Minister, please, why you are going slippery? Allow the schools, the religious bodies to infuse the discipline. Wouldn't it be so nice that you are coming from an Islamic background? Then you go to a Christian school, you also introduce it opens your mind about the worldview of religion.
Yes.
So what is this business that go to TIMAS and go and see how Christians are praying every Friday? They know, look, Sylvester Boati, a typical Christian, he can recite all the Quran from head to toe. He went to TIMAS. Beautiful.
You go to a new environment,
Beautiful.
you learn a new culture.
Black Rasta, he went to TIMAS.
Which Black Rasta?
Your own Black Rasta. Kumasi TIMAS. Is he not? Pan-Africanist, he can recite the Quran from head to toe. He learned it there.
If I choose
The
to
beauty
go
of
to
it,
Islamic
that is the school,
the
and before you went
Black
there,
Rasta?
Black Rasta, you knew that it's TIMAS. We are not doing Christian business there. And people have not had any issues with it. Hajia Halima, they went to Wesley Girls. Did you ever hear them complain about religious treatment on campus? They went through it beautifully.
They knew before they went.
They made friends. When you go to the school, the Muslims, the Christians, they are so happy. You parents, adults that you are out, instead of encouraging them to continue to be happy, you are here and then creating also problems. Are you in the school?
parents and the adults rather are creating
The
problems?
parents we have today.
Not rights,
They have
rights
the-
enshrined by the same constitution.
They open phone lines. I went to a particular school. You know, weekend, they want the walls to speak to your parents. The parents of today, we have a problem. The walls are crying, parents are crying. I mean, I said, Jesus Christ. Your ward is in secondary school, you will miss it. You will miss it. After secondary school, you are not going to get hold of your ward. Because from secondary school, if it's going to continue, goes to university, independent life has started. Yeah. Why do you want to continue in this that be nonsense?
You mean cajoling them?
Cajoling.
Solomon, I have a friend, her name is Zainabu Mohammed.
Zainabu.
She totally agree with you.
But what are they talking about?
Zainabu is a Muslim.
Yes.
Right, but you think you are going to do that with us?
I don't want to see. She said she totally agree with you.
The young ones in there, they are so happy.
What is that?
They embrace themselves. Me, my daughter, the best friend is a Muslim. When they are walking, you will not even see the difference. But you parents, you are out there and you are discussing right. Who cares about your
Just
rights?
speak the truth and stop these things that we are doing in this country.
It's totally nonsense.
If you are account to TV3, you said you speak English or your money
So
program.
Solomon said,
I don't care.
Solomon said that she agrees
I don't care.
with
to
you.
come and
Yeah,
speak to
We need policy, not law to this. Look,
Every
for the sake of the children,
what is this?
for the sake of the children, let's withdraw this lawsuit and let's go back to the memorandum of understanding
That we had with the minister.
Exactly. Sit down as adults around the table, put the interests of the children first, and get it done. That's my problem, my solution.
Honestly, this thing that we are doing is not fair, it's not proper.
Why not? They say
It's
that,
every
that
institution.
we're in the modern state.
Which one is the
The fourth Republican dispensation.
They should go away with their
When you are selecting
The 1992
when they are-
constitution is
that
applied. This is the
why-
constitution.
that is
And
why-
Fred, what
that
are you
is why-
saying?
Listen, that's why we have
And that's why the minister says
Please,
that.
that is why you have several schools in this country. It's your choice. It's your decision. If you have decided to come to TV3, when you come to TV3, you do what they do at TV3.
What are they talking about?
I don't come from my house to come and determine your editorial policy for you. I don't come from my house to come and do whatever I like here. That's why you even have the power to even walk me away from your set. If you think that I'm doing something that contravenes your rules.
Fred, walk away.
Yes, I walk away. I carry my things.
But that-
It is your set.
Yeah, I understand the point. But, you know, again, I will espouse this. I grew up in Ashaiman.
Yeah.
And some of my friends today who helped me are big Muslim clerics. And
You really a lot of them to about the difference between you and them.
Alajis.
I mean, what are we doing?
Good friends.
I've had friends who were Christian, then
My friend
converted to
Kudus is watching
Islam.
from
Yeah,
Tamale.
but-
Kudus is like a brother.
Yes.
We,
I'm saying that friend, Rashid in Howard.
you can
Good
see the same
friends.
people go for a wedding in the church, then the next day they are all going to
No problem anyway.
It's how we
Why you
live.
stop
You
this?
continue this, be like, the fetish priest will go and create their own there, and you will see.
So you are saying that we need to have fetish priest also advocate
Of
that
course,
their
but the
children are
moment
That one they are
if they
agree- that one they agree
grant,
with him.
no, if they grant,
Also
I'll
give
go
it
to
to you,
court
because look,
and allow
Oh,
them
yeah,
for us to have our fetish priest.
It's okay, it's okay.
Let them make that mistake and afford it.
It's okay.
And you all send our.
It's okay. Let me read some comments so we can end.
I wasn't born a Christian. I was the name Jebuntie was given to me by divine by a soothsayer and given to me named by the gods of my.
Aha! So you have to go.
Exactly, I do. So
You have
if I
to.
go to school,
Man,
they should give us a shot.
So that you watch it.
I need to be careful when I'm getting close to the
Very
man
proper. I'm
now.
very powerful.
Jebuntie.
Jebuntie.
There is no paracetamol.
Please
in
put
there.
their mics up. You said Jabuntie means what?
Jebuntie.
There is no paracetamol. in there.
The third male son named after the war gods of the family.
Ah, you see, that's why you have to try to go
So you are the son of a god.
No, say
The
named
man,
after
the
the sun
man,
god.
the man is
the war gods.
the man is very fearful.
Very,
now.
thank you, fear me. I'm very powerful.
Me, I'm not scared of the power. The blood of Jesus Christ is above every other
Francis-
They
power.
use a dog, a sheep, a guinea fowl, and 3 children to name me.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yes. In the olden days, they needed the head of a gonja.
Buhari Francis.
Oh, really?
Roland,
Please, let me read some
Roland,
comments.
Elizabeth.
Gentlemen.
Elizabeth.
Masabla.
Odell is
Gonja man or
the
Kasada
I swear.
man.
Odell is the movie.
Ebinto. Buhari Francis says Zato and Solo are on the same path for the first time. History made in the studios of TV3.
Amen.
Please shake hands. Shake hands.
He's joining the UP.
The truth is one. The truth is
The last
one.
week I didn't have it easy at the hands of Zato at all. So today we're on the same platform.
We've made up.
We've plateaued. Then Jay Harland Lee said, I know that's not your real name, that's social media name, says, it's the most silly argument I have heard on this issue. The Muslims are not saying you should change your standards or teachings at the schools. They are simply asking you to allow them to observe daily prayers. They are not asking for anything more than that. And then, okay, I see Benu Anthony as well. Stephen Beidu says, please remind everybody else criticizing the education minister that his wife and children are all Christians, and he's a pure Muslim. He even introduced the wife during his vetting from the Ashanti region. So what's our problem? The rights are enshrined in the Constitution.
You're right.
Kwejo Yabua says, no institution is a law unto itself. Now, my directors, I can read 5 more. Then, so thank you, Harriet, for allowing me. Now, I have this one from Felicia Abane Awa. Good morning to Felicia for watching us from the Afram Plains. Always says that, I love the way you stop the quoting guy. What he's saying, he thinks he knows it all. Solo is my best for the morning. Even me, I'm a strong Africanist. And so what's the point? And then Georgian Lotte says, please, all the religious faiths should allow what the Romans do to be practiced where they are. When you go to Rome, do what the Romans do. Simple. And then I have this one also from, Philippine Godo. And Philippine Godo sends an interesting message, and I was just laughing throughout. He says that, I'm happy with everything the government is doing and the decision it takes. I beg, he should talk for himself. If the IGP has an extension, he has an extension. I have 2 more to read. And then this one is coming from Obimpong Kaba. Okay, my producer says, okay, so last one. Kindly let the NDC rep understand that there are churches in Arab countries. Residents are not forced to go to the mosques, but have the choice of practicing their religion. And so Wesley Girls should excuse us. Strong words there. And then Kakri Samoa says, former President Kufuor was on national TV announcing that there will be no haircuts. When he soon thereafter... Can I read this one? It's the last one. Allowed. Okay, I'll start because you people laugh.
What is for me? They are reading something. Says
Former President Please, let me read the last comment. Former President Kufuor was on national TV announcing that there will be no haircuts.
It's your boss
when he soon thereafter applied the haircut in the DDEP, did he precede it with a statement indicating his change of mind? The imposition of the DDEP was deemed to have been reversed when the decision was taken.
Absolutely.
Immediately.
How did you arrive where?
And then my director asks that I should end. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, gentlemen. Richard Amankwashi goes about giving me the full meaning of suspension, suspend, examples, and then, hey, meta AI is good. We're taking a break.